What is going on, guys? Started the stream a little late, but we're getting to it. Just gonna go through big news today. Micah Parsons has been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. Unbelievable. I talked to a couple of you in the comments earlier. Didn't think it was going to get. I didn't think a trade was going to get made, and it did. So shocking to say the least. So here you have it right here with the NFL Network. Saying or the NFL breaking. Micah Parsons to the Packers, and they've agreed on a 4-year, $188 million deal. And that's $136 million guaranteed. I mean, wow. I mean, we can just scroll through here. I mean, just look at this. I mean, it's crazy. The highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. I mean, and that's with Schefter. I mean, and we know they got back Kenny Clark and then 2 ones in this trade. So, I mean, they're getting some stuff back, but, I mean, you got stuff like this. It's just hilarious. Dallas fans after losing Luka and Micah. See, we're Commanders fans. We're happy, This is it's a good day for us. We don't have to worry about all this. Is Micah Parker's the Packers' best edge rusher since Wedgie White? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's been there for a little while now. Week 4 they play against each other. It's going to be probably one of the most tuned in games, and we play them. We play the Commanders. They play the Packers on a Thursday night. That's going to be But we don't have to play him once now. We used to have to play Micah twice. It's still crazy to think that he got traded. Whoever they pick in those with those picks, man. It says Jerry Jones traded Micah Parsons. So, like I said, it is a big day. This is what the NFL is all about. And that's why I said it's just insane to think that, look at this. Live reactions. So, Jerry Jones after trading Micah Parsons to the Packers. I mean, Caleb Williams, he thought he was going to have, a bounce back. Now he's got to play. He's got to play him twice. So, this is insane to see. Not going to be here long. I didn't plan on. I was hoping to start at 7:30. Parenting duties kind of pushed that back a little bit. Here we go. Read this. We got Cowboys said 4-year, $188 million, 136 guaranteed. That's 47 per year. That is wild. And like I said, they will get Kenny Clark and 2 first-rounders, which, if you ask me, what everybody else is saying, that's a steal. Just insane to see. Earlier, Michael Irvin was saying how he didn't believe that Parsons was going to go anywhere, so there's no way he gets traded. Here you go, the full compensation. We've already discussed it, but there it is, just so people can see it. And like I said, it's insane. I mean, this has got to be, I think, the biggest trade since maybe Khalil Mack, and it doesn't even come close to that, I believe. When you have a player somewhat in their prime and they get traded, like I said, I don't think there's anybody that since then who has demanded this much of attention, and it's insane. Jerry Jones having a plan, There's nothing on there. Just a bunch of drawings. Here we go. We got this. It says Michael Parsons' letter to the Cowboys. It said, growing up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I was one of a few kids in my neighborhood who cheered for the Dallas Cowboys. Nearly everyone around supported the Eagles, but I always believed in that star, or in the star. To wear the blue and white at Penn State and then to carry those colors. Let's see, there we go. That's better. Let's see. You guys can't really see it that great, but it'll be all right. We'll get back to it. But from the moment I arrived, it says, and then to carry those colors to NFL as a Cowboy, it was more of a dream. It was destiny. From the moment I arrived in Dallas, you embraced me and my family as your own. You made a kid from East Coast feel right at home in Texas. Every time I pulled up to work, every time I stepped onto the field, I felt the weight and pride of representing you. You didn't just give me a jersey, you gave me a place to belong. I never wanted the chapter to end, but now everything was in my control. My heart was always been here, and it still is. Through it all, I never made any demands. I never asked for anything more than fairness. I asked that the person I trust to negotiate my contract be part of the process. This is a sad day, but not a bitter one. I'll never forget the joy of draft night, the adrenaline of running out of the tunnel, or the brotherhood I shared with my teammates, coaches, and staff who prepared me for every single game. Those memories are mine forever. North Texas will continue to be my home in the off season. I'll still be here giving back to the community that gave me so much, and no matter where the next chapter takes me, the bond we built will never break. Thank you, Cowboys Nation, for every cheer, every moment, every ounce of love you showed me. Wearing the star has been an honor of my life. With gratitude and love, number 11. Like I said, didn't see it happening. I didn't believe that he would get traded. And most Cowboys fans that I spoke to didn't believe it as well. I got a friend of mine who he said, everybody called us crazy in the 90s, and it led to Super Bowls. And that's a good way to until Michael Parson. So like I said, it's a good way to try to be optimistic, but that's a big loss for the Cowboys. They even stated, the Cowboys fan that I was talking to said that there's no way that, he said that we don't have but Kenny Clark's going to help on the defensive tackle, but he goes, we have no edge rushers. And, to be good in the NFL, you need some edge rushers. Now, I know they did get Dante Fowler from us last year, and, he ended up getting 10 sacks last year. This isn't good. You got a first-year head coach, and it seems like Jerry Jones is just, he didn't want to pay him. It was simple as that. You can see it. This is a sports radio. Dallas Cowboys are dead as we know them. Jerry Jones, God bless him, but what an idiot. This is embarrassing. I'm mortified and embarrassed to be a Cowboys fan right now. A lot of Cowboys fans are upset, That's the way we're feeling. That's the way Commanders fans, Micah Parsons is out of my division. That is the way the Commander fans are feeling. And, they were saying also as well, the biggest thing is, not only, I don't care what Ocho has to say. Ocho. The biggest thing is, though, is now with him being at the highest paid defensive player, Trey, what's his name? Aiden Hutchinson at the Lions is going to get paid next year coming up. And with him getting $47 million, that just raised the price of that, which is fine by me. Right there. Yeah, this was not true, but right there. Micah Parsons versus the Cowboys in Week 4, 7 sacks. We shall see. I mean, I call a big game for him. CeeDee Lamb. You can't be like I was talking to a Cowboys fan. I said you can't be happy about this. Jerry Jones explains we gained a Pro Bowl player. We need to stop the run. We haven't been able to stop the run at key times for several years. I agree with that, but you also have to get to the quarterback, And Micah Parsons, when he's on that line, he's a player you have to account for at all times. If not, he'll wreck your team. We saw that with the Steelers. They had to pay Bosa this year. And, not Bosa, Watt. Sorry, I apologize. They had to pay T.J. Watt. And, Nick Bosa, I think, was last year, got paid. There's players, that are good at getting to the quarterback, and you need those players to be there at key positions. I think it's going to be hard to have your locker room rally, with a new coach. The head coach Brian Schottenheimer. It just how do you tell your team to fight for you when you have your best player? That was the whole reason with the Commanders with the Terry McLaurin situation. They everybody knew they had to pay Terry because he was the face of the franchise. He was the best player on the team. If you ask me, and I believe a lot of people, even Cowboys fans, would say this. As much as Dak being the quarterback is a deal, a lot of them would rather have Micah Parsons than have Dak Prescott. They paid CeeDee last year with Trevon Diggs. They paid him as well, I believe. I feel like Micah Parsons was the one that you really needed to make sure that you paid for. And, he didn't want it right here. He says, he explains that the agent, he didn't want anything to do with the agent. He didn't care. He wanted to do the deal. He wanted his way and nobody else's way. And it backfired. It backfired. And like I said, people are trying to talk themselves into it. They got to try to be happy about something. 2.7. If we just go through these comments. It could even be Micah Parsons. I don't feel bad for Cowboys fans at all. I think most people around the league would say the same. Fire Jerry hats. Like I said, you just read these, but the drama. A lot of people said that the drama in the off season, but I think when you have, we weren't in that room. We don't know what was said. Pikachu used Thunderbolt. We don't know what was said in that room. Right there. That's what a lot of people are already saying. Eliminated. Check his out. It's funny. Jerry Jones and the clown. That's how I was. I messaged Cowboys, a couple friends that I had, and I sent them laughing emojis. Not having to play Micah is going to be, it's a big deal for us. I am fine with that 100%. But it's big. Look, Magruder. I'm done. It's funny because, seeing this stuff like right here, this worst team management, not too long ago, that was the Commanders, when we were the football team and the previous Redskins. We were a terrible franchise, and everyone around us knew it. So to see now, that's no longer in our category is amazing to see. Packers fan here, thank you for the steal of the trade. as an Eagles fan, I want to thank Jerry Jones. Yeah, I mean, that used to be us. We used to have the worst team, and it's good to see. You know, it made the NFC. You know, I don't really think they have. I'm going to be biased, you know, Commanders, but I also think it's, you know, the Eagles to lose. Eagles season. I mean, after trying to go back to back, it's going to be obviously hard to do, but they obviously with Saquon and stuff like that. I mean, you can't really say that they can't do it, but some of those comments are pretty funny. And like I said, you got to. I mean, a lot of people didn't see it coming. I myself did. Yep, right there. That's what I say. Cowboys defense without Micah Parsons. You know, you can stop the run all you want. I don't care what Robert Griffin says. Oh, me. That's going to be a good matchup right there. You know, Micah going against the Lions offensive line. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. That's how I feel. Even though I don't agree with, you know, all these Eagle fans. Some toxic people. But, yeah. That's what I said. It is, yeah, here we go. This is what I was saying. The last time that we had a big trade like this. So, the last time, I know you guys can't really see it. Let's see. No, wrong one. Right here. So, in the Bears trade for Khalil Mack. You know, this is what I was saying. I thought this was the biggest one that I can remember. They got Khalil Mack, a second round, and a conditional fifth. And then Oakland got 2 firsts, a third, and a sixth. So this is the biggest that I can remember. And as we can see, you know, it is it's not the same here. It is not the same here. Whoever's a little bit. They get a player and 2 first-round picks. So Khalil Mack's, you know, I don't think he really. I kind of would say the Raiders kind of won that one, but we saw who the Raiders picked, and none of those players are still there. And Khalil Mack isn't really the player he once was. I don't think he ever really was after that. I think he's had a few seasons where he really just has a couple games where he goes off, and that gets his stats a little higher than what they really are. So yeah, that's what I said. Jordan Love shares the agent with Micah Parsons. Of course, here a little breakdown. Per second, it makes $1.49 a second. $89.54 per minute. Per hour is $5,372. $128,931 a day. Per week is $903,846. That is insane. And per month, $3,916,666. Could you imagine making that much? That right there is what you call generational wealth times 10. I mean, that is insane to see right there. Cowboys ever feel that Michael didn't want to be with the Cowboys? I didn't give it that a thought. I never felt it. So you could tell that he wanted to be there. Like we said, they just didn't want to pay him. And, you know, when they didn't pay him, somebody else will. I knew they weren't going to trade him to the Commanders. Even if they wanted him, they're not going to trade him inside the division. So if we want anything close to... If we were going to want him, we're going to have to wait 4 years. Or 5 years. When he's a free agent later on. Still a chance maybe, but... Like I said, it is insane. Biggest trade in the NFL we've seen in a long time. You don't see prime players being traded, and especially in the division. I mean, not division, in in the in the NFC conference. So like I said, they're going to play Week 4. All eyes will be on that. Just wanted to scroll through, talk a little bit, and there's room for a third in negotiations. So he did not want to play fair, and now Micah Parsons is with the Green Bay Packers. Something I didn't think I was going to be saying today, and especially this late in the offseason, but that's what happens. So, right there. So, if there's a chance he'd be in his 30s, it's a possibility he still plays, but I think he'll get maybe another contract later on, but yeah, he's definitely going to be, if he continues the trajectory he's on. He's an amazing player, and we no longer have to deal with him in the NFC East. Yeah, right there. I think some of these players are a little overrated, but that's not for me to discuss. I like Rashad Gary, and then you got Micah Parsons, a couple of these other ones. They're pretty decent. But yeah, that right there, when I saw those pictures, I was kind of thinking he might be out. That's a player who's done. But yeah, look at those faces. Did not see it happening, but here it is. Traded. In best interest for the Dallas Cowboys. Jones said there's nothing at all he'd do differently in how he handled the situation. I'm excited we got what we wanted. I'm not concerned about our locker room at all. Hey, we're going to see Week 1's around the corner. And what is going to happen? And what will we see? Big day in the NFL. Big day in the NFL. Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers for defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Week 1 can't come soon enough. Those draft picks could get us 2 top Pro Bowl players, or it can get you guys that fade out of the league in a matter of no time. I can't remember who it was that said you can talk about all the picks you want, but if you're trading with someone who you know has already done it in the NFL, that's more important than those picks. And I tell you, we are going to see. We are going to see. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all checking in. Thank you for coming and chatting with us on the Read Zone. Like I said, Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Crazy.